What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? We're back. Another episode of that Great Minds Think Alike live stream brought to you by GMTA Media. And we're your hosts, Nov and my brother Orlito. What's the good word, my broski?
Yeah, what's going on, man? I'm good, just chilling. Not too nice outside today. It's all rainy and gloomy, and all the beautiful days have gone away. So I don't know what
Man,
that's all about, but
I don't want to damper on the parade because I'm a Milwaukee guy, but maybe got to do with the Bucks not advancing.
Yeah, man, that hurt. That was a freaking joke,
Yeah,
man.
that
That
was heartbreaking.
animated ass, cartoon ass shit. That shit pissed me the fuck off. That was some made up fake ass scripted ass shit. I don't know how the fuck that happened. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. Wow. How you
I
do
don't
that?
know.
Where they do
I don't
that
know.
at?
Milwaukee, well, it wasn't in Milwaukee. It was in Indiana, right?
It was
Indiana.
in Indiana, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
man.
Man.
It was a sad
Shout out
day.
Giannis.
I was about to say that, man. He brought us a chip. You know what I mean? And whatever that man decided to do, I still be a fan. I don't care where he goes. I'm still gonna be a fan of Giannis. And hopefully we could work out. Like I seen a meme earlier where, not a meme, a reel, where it's like instead of trading him, build around him. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it's I don't know, man. I don't want to lose him, but that looks like where we're heading to, man. Do you think this is his last season here?
I well, I never really. It's always been talks of people like every time that we like lose or like we're in the playoffs or whatever, and like something like this sour kind of happens. Everybody always gets to talking about Giannis is gonna leave, but I mean Giannis has said it like numerous amount of times that like he's different. You know what I'm saying? He don't. Uh, I mean, I think if he wanted to leave, he would have left a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he had the opportunities to play with the sad people. Like if people was thinking, oh, he could go over there and play with LeBron and Luca. I mean, he could have went and played with LeBron when LeBron was a little bit younger if he really wanted to make that choice. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't
Man,
he do
fuck
it
that.
before?
No, fuck going there, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather see him on Boston, to be honest. I would love to see Giannis in Boston, bro.
No, I would like to see him in Golden State. If he go, I mean, I don't want to see him go anywhere. I want him to stay in Milwaukee. But if he does decide to go anywhere, I think that he should go to Golden State. Only for the simple fact that Steph Curry, it'll prolong Steph Curry's career. You know what I'm saying? And to me, Steph Curry's like he's the last of the Mohicans. You know what I'm saying? He's the last of the era of the Kobe's in the you know what I'm saying? All of those guys. So once he's gone, you know what I'm saying? That's like it's almost like the end of that era, damn near. You know what I'm saying? So I want him to stay around if he could. If obviously, if Giannis were to go over there, that would preserve dual health. They already got Jimmy Butler over there. Then they got uh dude that's always getting in the fights with everybody. I don't forget his name. Green, whatever first.
Tremont.
Draymond Green. Yep, Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a beastie squad. Can you imagine that? That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to see him at all with
No,
LeBron.
no.
No, not at all. But yeah. Hopefully this ain't the last year. I remember my first Bucks game you took me to, and he didn't even play. None of the fucking stars played. That was a
Yeah,
disappointment.
yeah. That shit was
But
crazy.
so big fights this weekend. Before we do our usual, Romero Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. I keep calling him Amir Khan for some strange reason. Barbosa versus Lopez. And I don't know who Haney's fighting, but let me get your thoughts on Rolly versus Garcia.
um, I'm gonna ask you something first. Who's the favorite fighter? Ryan Garcia,
Yeah, I would believe so. I
right?
believe so. Yep.
Now I'm going off a total like I'm one of those. I'm going off of like observations off the outside, right? So you know that dude is training him. I think his name is Derek something. The bald headed dude. He trained. He trained for the Terrence Crawford fight with Earl Spence.
Spence.
He was the one in the corner, and
Yeah,
then they lost that fight. He was the one that was in the same corner with when Gervonta Davis fought Frank Martin. The
that
same,
was the
same,
draw, right?
same.
That was that draw, right? That was the draw fight.
No, no. Frank Martin and
Okay,
Gervonta
that's
Davis.
that was the eighth round knockout. You're right. You're right. I'm tripping.
Same trainer, Derek, whatever. What I'm trying to get to is every time I see Derek, whatever the trainer in somebody corner, the person end up losing the fight. So I'm gonna go take a crazy little whatever, and I'm finna say that Ryan
Oh,
Garcia is gonna lose this fight. Yeah, only Ryan Garcia is finna lose the fight. Only for the simple fact of who he got in his corner as a trainer.
okay, going with Rolly for the upset. Okay. Um, Teofimo Lopez versus Edgar Barbosa. That's made out to be a tough fight. Uh,
Yeah.
first, first off, who you got on that fight, and what you got for the winner, what you see for the winner of that fight, because obviously the winner of that fight do got options.
Right. I don't know, bro. It's always hard for me to um what you gonna call like go against Teofimo. I don't know. It's something about dude's personality or what. I don't know. Just something about him that he know how to
Yeah,
sell the fight and make you believe that he's the one that's gonna win it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He's that type of guy. He got that energy. So I always, I like dude. I want him to win. I want Teofimo Lopez to win. And if he does win, um, I say that he should go. I hope Devin Haney wins only for the simple fact I think that he should clean that whole like little
that
Devin
mess
Haney,
up.
Ryan Garcia. Yeah, get that mess out the way, and then and
Yeah,
then there won't be only for the simple fact then there won't be no what you did for him or I for him and you know what I'm saying. All of that shit you could just squash that shit out the way. Take both of them. Fight Ryan Garcia. Fight what's his face? Devin Haney. He's fought Rolly.
no, not Teo. None of them actually.
Yeah.
None of them have.
I don't know if I would want to see like all of those fights. To be honest though, you know what I'm saying? Maybe like I don't know. I don't think Devin Haney would stand a chance against Teofimo Lopez only for the simple fact of like the performance against Ryan Garcia. Um, Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez. I think that the only thing really that Ryan Garcia has like working for him is that left hook. You know what I'm saying? And I think he depends on it so much that it's he's become a predictable fighter. You know what I'm saying? He can't really use that. I don't know how this dude missed it. You know what I'm saying? How Haney missed it so many times, but you know, uh, yeah, I don't know. He's an excited fighter only for the simple, not an excited fighter. He's exciting only for the simple fact because
No,
he's like
I agree.
always talking, his shit, woo woo, whatever. But but yeah, I think Teofimo Lopez should maybe clean that whole little mess up and then call out Gervonta or something.
Well, I don't see that fight happening no more. They're like two weight classes apart, but
Shakur,
not even either. Um,
no,
no, because I think where Shakur's at right now, I think his ideal weight, like max, will be 140, right? Um, the way I see it, I agree with you. So let's just say Ryan Garcia do get upset, right? And Devin
hmm
Haney miraculously pull off the win. Yeah, I like to see that. How you said the mess cleaned up because styles make fight. Cambosa lost to Haney, but Cambosa beat Lopez, and I would like to see how Haney and Lopez match up. Because they both matched up with Cambosa, and they both had different results, right? So I agree with you as far as that. But me personally, if Tio wins, I would like to see him in there with Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia wins, because it'll be more of an even matchup. Because if not, then we putting him in there with Boots. Boots about to knock his head off. So
They're gonna put who in there with Boots?
it would have to be Lopez and Boots. Because Lopez is
Mm.
147. And that's where Boots is at. So that'd be interesting. Then Saturday, we got, let me check out these comments right quick. No, bro. Nah, don't worry about it, my brother. Appreciate you rocking with us. We'll send you the link every week and whenever you can rock with us. Hope you have a smooth day tonight, mano. So that's Friday nights from not Madison Square Garden, from Times Square. And then Saturday we got Canelo versus Michael Skull. And then Sunday we got the debut, the Los Angeles, the United States debut of Inu. So we already talked about that. We already know what we want from Canelo if he wins this fight.
Right.
So,
right.
So let's continue. Let's go on. Luka Doncic. What's his last name, bro? From the Lakers?
Doncic or some shit. Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic personally funded the repair of the vandalized Kobe and Gianna Bryant mural in Los Angeles. Salute to you.
Somebody vandalized it?
Yeah, man. They out there vandalizing all sorts of murals.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Outkast and Salt and Pepper, congratulations. They have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last week. Both deserving, both pioneers and both paved the way. What's your thoughts, or do you have any comments on that, Mano?
No, just shout out to them. Shit, they deserve it long away today.
Yeah, for sure, man. Outkast, the greatest selling rap duo in the history. Shit. The biggest. Future nominated for 4 American Music Awards at the 2025 AMAs. Daddy Yankee requested a court to dissolve business venture with ex-wife Miredi Gonzalez Castanello after accusing her of mismanaging $100 million.
Damn.
Yeah. Daddy Yankee, man. I'm gonna tell you something, brother. You always been stand up, pioneer, etc., man. But I think you choosing God exposed the devil you've been with all along. As soon as bro retired of reggaeton and went to church, she dipped on his ass.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So while you battle in court, just thank the man above for relieving you of that demon, bro. Because
You're right.
She waited a long time, and 100 million.
Tenía la uña escondida.
Man, mucho.
Como decimos los puertorriqueños. Yeah.
Man, she had it bien escondido. Congratulations, Megan Thee Stallion. She will be opening up her first of her franchise of Popeye's Chicken, and she says it will be the latest Popeyes ever. So I think I put it like this, man. It's good to see her using her money or investing her money in different things, outside of rap. And Popeyes be cracking, so great investment, Megan. According to NBC, a hearing has been scheduled on May 6th to address the bond issue for YNW Melly. His second double murder trial is set to begin September 10th. If convicted, he could face the death penalty.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. His case looked iffy as fuck. I thought for sure he was gonna be hung, bro, but they ended up getting a mistrial. So I don't know, what is it, 2 mistrials, and he beats that rap, ain't it? So I don't know, man,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully some comes out of it because that young man been awaiting his fate for 6 years now. So I think that's the longest incarceration I know of as far as waiting for
Yeah,
the
it's
sentence.
crazy.
Brian McKnight has taken legal action against Jaguar Wright after she accused him of abuse and misconduct. Jaguar Wright, she's very popular on YouTube for telling stories about Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and etc. and so forth. She ended up
Mm-hmm.
going on Piers Morgan a few months back and made some explosive allegations towards Mr. and Mrs. Carter. And the next day, Piers Morgan got hit with the cease and desist, and they took down that interview. So, um, Brian McKnight, hey, bro, you were the first, and I hope you succeed. Because I'm not saying Jaguar Wright be lying, but man, she be saying a lot of shit, man, and I don't believe half of this shit. Free Maiden called out Kanye West for unpaid production fees and accused him of stealing beats for Donda 2 and Vultures 2 without consent. It's been
Who
a
was
rough
that?
week. Free Maiden. So
Oh.
they Donda 2 got on streaming sites for the first time this week, but was took down because of this. So again, Kanye, you call yourself Yeezus, but you finding out you're nothing like God, bro. You're finding out real quick. Birdman was on a podcast. I forgot the name of the podcast. I seen the clip, but says Master P ruined Cash Money's deal with Priority Records. So before the big Universal deal, they were supposed to go to Priority, and I guess P blocked that. Um,
Mm.
it's crazy to hear, right? Because I think it was after, I was gonna say BG, after Juvenile left. Cash Money was the time I heard him and Soldier Slim do that slow motion song, right? Slow
Mm-hmm.
motion. Okay. So, and I believe I could be wrong. I'm just speaking of my experience. I believe that's the first time I ever heard Cash Money, any Cash Money record artist with a No Limit artist collabing, right? So, for years they always talked about due to street politics, they never collabed or never did business with each other, but always they were respectful to each other. But I never heard Master P say nothing about Birdman and Birdman about P until now. So it's interesting. Like after so many years now, we seem like the bosses talk about the dissension. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
outside of the street politics, it was business politics as well. Master P, notorious for putting New Orleans on the map, but we all know, if we don't know, Master P got his game from the West Coast, San Francisco, the Bay area, you know what I'm saying? And took it back to New Orleans, where we all know Cash Money blew up out of New Orleans. So it's interesting to see how this story develops. Two big icons, typhoons of the music industry, right? So I, what's your thoughts on that? Did you ever wondered about that at all, about Cash Money No Limit Billions? Because this is news to me. Like, I never heard of this,
No, I never really thought about it, to be honest.
but it was a blessing in disguise for Cash Money because they went and hit Universal. I think the first deal was 30, 50 mil, and then they renegotiated that 100 mil second deal. So it was a blessing in disguise for them.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, Thugs in Harmony. If you don't know, you're going to know now. My favorite group of all time has announced they have reunited, not just for the album, but they will be going on a 30-year anniversary tour. Orlito,
Mm.
I'm saying it here. I'm staying here. We haven't been to a concert since what? I think that Big Sean shit or one of those shits we went to. Forgot which one at the rave.
Yeah, I don't even remember. It was at the rave though. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was at the rave. So if Bone Thugs and Harmony come to Milwaukee for their 30-year anniversary, the Great Minds Think Alike is going.
Hell yeah,
So
that'd be dope.
you can hold me to my words right now. I
I
haven't been
never
to a
seen
concert.
I never seen them I've never seen them live, even though that came to the rave a few times. I've never had the chance to catch them. But it's gonna
Me
be
either,
all of them
bro.
though this time. Because most of the time it wasn't all of them. It was just some of them. You know what I'm saying? Whoever could make, you know what I'm saying?
So here we go. This is what I learned as being a Bone fan. So when you see one or two Bones, there's Bone Brothers, right? If you see
Mm.
more than two Bones, it's Bone Thugs. Now, if you see them all five, it's Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's interesting. I never knew that.
yeah. It was crazy. I think it was Busy Bone. He was saying that shit. Suge Knight has agreed to pay 1.5 million settlement for the hit and run that took the life of somebody on the set of that NWA movie, but he settles to avoid
Mm.
new trial, which I don't know where he's gonna get the money from, but that was a smart play because what Suge Knight is what that came out 2015, 16. So what he's like 9 years into his sentence, 10 years into his sentence now. So they sentenced him 25 to life. So we're looking at another 3, 4 years. Maybe he's eligible for some parole type shit. So it was a good play. I don't know where he's gonna cough up the money, but good play. Um, Fat Joe has filed a suit against his former hype man TA and his attorney, also suing Diddy Nicki Minaj, accusing them of trying to extort them with false claims. So there's a podcast. It's on YouTube called Panda Chops. And dude, like, I don't know. I think he's like a terrorist, he's like at Terror Squad, or he just don't like Fat Joe. So majority of his content is like people talking about Fat Joe, like Cuban Link, etc. Right? And about like a year and a half ago, there's this dude named TA on there, and he claimed he has ghost written for Fat Joe. So I was hearing it, and cool. I'm listening to it. I'm like, this can't be, this could be the truth. But he started making some allegations about Fat Joe flying girls across state, underage girls, etc., etc. So it finally hit the fan now, and Fat Joe has filed a defamation suit. Let's see where that goes.
Mm.
Yeah, Fat Joe's not having it hasn't been a great year for Fat Joe, man. We're gonna have to talk about it soon. Shit. Former Bad Boy record executive Phil Robinson passes away after a battle with cancer. Speaking of Bad Boy, Diddy's reportedly trying to recruit a doctor to testify that he was inebriated during his alleged sexual assaults, framing it as mental condition.
Mm.
Yeah, man. So we see where his defense is going. So it doesn't look good for the diddler, man. We're almost done with the news. Kendrick Lamar's sister Luther stays at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for the 10th week. Kendrick Lamar is nominated for 10 MMAs. And speaking of Kendrick Lamar, Young Thug recently commented on the name dropping on Not Like Us. He says, I don't know what up with that, but I'm a Drake
I'm
fan.
Drake fan.
uh, Comment on that, Mono.
Slime. Looking at.
It's live. Yeah, we're gonna do our own version of Quick Timer Slime later on. Noli, what's up, baby girl? Shout out to Noli, the homie
Shout out
from
Noli.
Chicago. She's from Pakistan, from Chicago, all the way in Texas. She everywhere.
Damn.
I see
Erwin.
you, Juice Man. Hey,
Shout out to Deuce Man.
for sure. Hey, All right, bro. That wraps up the news. Let's get into some new music singles. Bone Thugs and Harmony. All shit. Flo Milli featuring T Pain. It's a Fee. Megan Thee Stallion. Whenever. I kind of like that. Bop. That's actually about. Young Thug and Future. Money on Money. Um, I don't know how to feel about that song. Orly. I was expecting some fire on that shit. I don't know. That might be fire, but it's not what I expected from them two guys. If you haven't heard it, you check that
Mm,
out at all. Money on Money.
mm,
Uh,
mm,
yeah, I don't know. I liked it more the collaboration they did with them two and Baby. But anyhow, J Rock and Rayvon got a burner, Clown Dance. Doja Cat and Don Toliver got a banger, Lose My Mind. Benny the Butcher and Boldy James, Duffel Bag Hottie's Revenge. And you just, it's crazy. My boy brought him up 2 weeks ago in a private message, but the legends are back. Nappy Roots, Color Outside the
mm.
Line. Hey, I was like, I'm gonna save. No, I'm gonna save it because you brought them up. You
Right.
you spoke them into existence. Yeah, but Nappy Roots, we're gonna be chopping it up about them soon because they're some of our favorites and they don't get their flowers. And they got some classics. They got some
Mm-hmm.
classics. New albums, Lloyd Banks, All or Nothing 3, Despite My Mistakes, out now. And tomorrow, another lyrical monster, Benny the Butcher, drops Excelsior. Excelsior. I don't know how. Excelsior tomorrow. The song with Boldy James will be featured on that. Thoughts on it? Have you peeked at Lloyd Banks at all?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I've been asleep on the new music the past couple weeks.
yeah. I only been catching the singles. The last album I digested was Playboy Cardi, and I wish I could get my time back. And I haven't fully finished the Wiz Khalifa joint, but
Yeah,
that
neither have I. I've only got up to like I forgot what track, like uh the Juicy J track. But I
yeah,
probably got like off of like up to that part. I probably got like a good five. I like a good five songs from the beginning to there.
oh, okay. Yeah, I mean there's some cuts on there. It's just I don't know. I'm gonna have to re-listen to it, and then I give you a better assessment of it next week. But before we get into our topic, first off, make sure y'all go check out the Puff and Pad Smoke Shop here in Milwaukee, 2911 North Oakland Avenue on the east side. Or if you're in the Madison area, Madison, Wisconsin, that is, 3527 University Ave. Again, go check out the Puff and Pass Smoke Shop. East side of Milwaukee, or I don't know where, but Madison, Wisconsin. And tonight,
Oh
y'all,
yeah.
after you finish watching us, make sure you go out to the Jackalope Lounge, 345 North Broadway. Doors open at 9 p.m., 25 and up for the breaking and entering presenting the Big Beat MKE. Started last week.
Yeah.
And this week we have J Love hosting. Last week was hosted by Richie P. Gochin, who was a guest on that Panorama podcast, which you can catch on GMTA Media on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And the last episode featured Mecca Malo. You can also catch that right now on YouTube. Again, that's Panorama Podcast hosted by my player, my partner, my brother Orlito, special guest Mecca Malo. Then this Monday, matter of fact, Sunday, my apologies. This Sunday, the 2025 Hall of Fame inductee, the late great Twan Mack, will be this Sunday at the Deco West Dallas. And that wraps up. Before we get into topics, bro, you be going to the beat battle tonight, right? The big beat.
Yeah, yep. I went. Yep. I went last Thursday when Rich P was hosting, and then yeah, I'm finna go tonight too.
Can you give me and the people that's watching a recap of what happened last week and what they can expect from the big beat?
Yeah. So last week was the premiere. Rich P Goldchain was hosting. Uh, they had um a performance by Spades. You remember Spades, right?
Yep, Oscar.
Yeah, Yep, yep, yep. He performed there, and there was another guy that performed there, I'm salty because I don't remember his name. Um, but he was dope, bro. He was like I never seen him before or heard of him before. But he was like singing. He was like he was dope, like singing, kind of like rapping, singing, Chris Brownish. I don't know, type of. I don't know. It was dope. He was snapping. Uh, so yeah, they had two performances, and then they had uh two beat battles. So the first one was um I forgot the person's name, but yeah, they went back. They went head to head with each other. One of them came out on top. Then they had another beat battle with two other people going head to head with each other, and then one of them came out on top. So tonight's gonna be basically the same shit. There's gonna be performances, a lot of performances, and then there's gonna be live beat battles. So yeah, definitely come check it out. There's a lot of local artists, local talent, people that be, producers, artists, just in general. A little like cool little network in Milwaukee vibe scene. So yeah, definitely if y'all not doing anything, come down and support that.
Dope, dope. So y'all heard it. For those that into music and entertainment, go check it out. They be having live performances and competitions. I hope to show out sometime, maybe in the not this week, but next week probably. Probably go check it out
For
with you
sure.
next Thursday because I can't next Thursday. I work the following Friday, but the following Thursday I will. But
For sure.
yeah, and one more thing before we go into topic. Your interview with Mecca dropped this past Tuesday. Dope interview, bro. Uh,
Thank you.
you y'all guys unpacked so much in a little bit amount of time, and that was dope to me. You know what I mean? Because it's just the how it flowed and what you
Mm,
got out, like the questions, how his what's the word I'm looking for? His experiences, his answers, you know what I'm saying? It was dope. I liked it. One of my
appreciate you.
favorite interviews, man. Mecca, I know Mecca for a bit. So just to see him like that, because I never seen an interview with Mecca. So I haven't, every time I came across him was under event circumstances. We never had a chance to chop it up. So getting to know him from that side was pretty dope. So again, good job, great job, my brother,
Appreciate you, boss.
for sure. So again, for those that's tuning in still, that's Panorama Podcast, episode 2, featuring Mecca Mallow, out now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, or wherever you see GMTA. All right, man. So we'll make this short. We done uh, 29 episodes, and
Woo.
today I wanted to make it a special one because it's episode 30, and I'm gonna be a certain age, so I got to see a lot of eras of rap, right? And some I
Mm,
hold near and dear to my heart. But the era that we're about to talk to now, if not, I consider it for sure the last great era, but might be in contention of being the greatest era. So those who
Mm-hmm.
are talking about Great Minds Thinking Like live stream episode 30 is what the blog. Yes, y'all.
What the
We
block?
what the blog? We're talking about the blog era of hip hop. We're talking about the peak, the birth of this era is late 2006, 2007, the seeds were planted. Then 2008, that tree grew. Um, this is the era where physical went to digital, television even went to digital. Um, this was without a doubt the discovery era, right? Where every publication at these times, and there was numerous of them, Hip Hop DX, World Star Hip Hop, All Hip Hop, This Is 50. This is where we would discover who our artists were. And at these times, when you ask the artists who they are, they tell you who they are and they're about their art, not these days. So
Yeah.
this was a very critical time in hip hop and a shift, right? Because this is pre-streaming. This is pre-streaming. This is the last. These artists that we're about to discuss and cover are they come from the last era of physical and the birth of digital, right? So let's talk about it, bro. Without a doubt, I call it the last great era. And this might be the greatest era to you. It might be the greatest era to me at the end of the day. So let's discuss it, right? Let's
For
talk
sure.
about these artists. I'm going to name them to you.
All
I'm going
right.
to name these artists, right? Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Drake,
Mm.
Nicki Minaj, Future, Meek Mill, Nipsey Hussle, God rest his soul, Kid Cudi, Wale, Lupe Fiasco, Big Sean, Tyler the Creator, Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, God rest his soul, ASAP Rocky, Freddie Gibbs, Little Dirt, Chief Keef, Migos, Young Thug, God rest his soul, Young Dolph, Schoolboy Q, Big Crit, Travis Scott, Moneybagg Yo, Ab Soul, Sahai the Prince, Don Tripp, Currency, Joey Badass, Tiger, Bobby Schmurder, Plies, Boosie, Kevin Gates, and God rest his soul, Rich Homie Quan. Now, what do you think of that list?
It's a big list.
Now, I named some heavy hitters or the heavy hitters. Now, let's talk about the beat class. Chip the Ripper, MGK, Don Kennedy, Asher Roth, Corey Guns, Hobson, Earl Sweatshirt, Kid Ink, Mickey Fax, Riff Raff, Childish Gambino, Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa, B.O.B., Danny Brown, J Electronica, Rhapsody, Action Bronson, Problem, Yellow Wolf, Roscoe Dash, The Cool Kids, Anderson Paak, Rich Boy, Cassie Vega, Charles Hamilton. This is the blog era. This is the blog era's production. This is what they produce. The top ones I mentioned, obviously, they the ones, right?
Right.
When you listen to rap, Orly, me and you
Mm-hmm.
got age disparity. When you listen to this list and we'll go over some of their mixtapes and whatnot, what do you think of this class? What do you think of this era?
Um, I never noticed how many of those people was part of that, except for like uh, the certain people that I guess I wouldn't say it's like extra hard relevant, but they're still kind of around. but not even like like the Wale's, obviously, the Big Sean's. Um, yeah, it's a lot of people that it was like it was, it was a big amount of people you name, but when you think about it now, like who's all left out of that?
Yeah, so again, I I can name at least 20 of these people right now that's still relevant in some way, somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go off Kendrick, Cole, Drake, Nicki, Future, right? That's 5 that's still
Yeah.
active, right? Tyler the Creator is at the top of his game right now, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Still relevant. Young Thug still
Mm-hmm.
relevant. Dirk still relevant while he's locked up. Um,
Wiz.
I was gonna bring him up in a second with someone else. Um,
Okay.
and so let's bring up Wiz and Freddie Gibbs, right? Now, Freddie Gibbs is one who started off slow, but his catalog right now is impressive. Towards like if we go from who's dropping hot shit lately, he's in my top
Right.
5 right now, right?
Right.
But let's see who else. Young Thug, we'll see what he's gonna do. He's still relevant. Schoolboy Q last year did some great shit. Joey Badass right now on Power. You know, damn, bro. Like I would say this class still doing shit. Let's think about the classes after the SoundCloud era rappers. Oh, let me not forget, bro. Travis Scott is a product of this era, bro.
Yeah. And is Kid
Travis
Cudi?
Scott,
No. Kid
Kid
Cudi
Cudi.
isn't.
Yo, I forgot. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kid Cudi is.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, Kid Cudi's from there. So yeah, like without a doubt, Kid Cudi, 2008, he laid the blueprint for Kanye's 808 and Heartbreaks and laid the skeletons for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Drake, no need to say more. We already know that. Nicki Minaj, the biggest selling female artist of all fucking time. You know, in Future, been on a hell of a run. So they've been dominating for the last whatever years. Like I said, Tyler the Creator last year and the year before that had #1 albums. Wiz Khalifa, dispensaries, movies, tours, dropping music out the gate. Like, I don't know, bro. Boosie, I would say he's relevant music wise, but he got a strong social media presence. It has a how you say lasting impression. Think about that, bro. How long do a rapper really got as far as career span? These motherfuckers got damn near pushing 20 years now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, if I was to give you this era compared to the era prior and the era after, they outlapping them, bro. They are lapping them. And I would say this is your era as far as how you like the Wiz Khalifas, the Cuddies, the Seans.
Codes.
Yeah, I left him out because I already know where he's at with you. So, you know, like a lot of these motherfuckers I got put on, and some of these motherfuckers, their discography later on got me. Like, I don't know. The blog era, I would say, without a doubt, laid a blueprint for what we see now as far as streaming. Everybody was, this
Mm-hmm.
was the greatest time for mixtapes, without a doubt. The greatest
Mm-hmm.
time for mixtapes. The best, the most classical mixtapes came out from this era. Um, so okay, before we jump into that, Lil Wayne, the king at this time. Lil Wayne, 2008, Carter 3, massive, right? He's the king at this
Right.
time. Um, Kanye West gearing up for that. What is it that shit he did with his Good Friday camp? It was on the Good
Uh,
Fridays, right?
good. Yeah, I think that's what it was called. Yep.
The Good Fridays. So this crop of MC broke through this time. Let's Rick Ross. Okay, let's just move on. So mixtapes. Rick Ross, Lil Wayne. They had a nice run during this era with mixtapes, with Droughts, The Selling, Teflon Don, etc. Right? But we're not gonna
Mhm.
highlight them. We're gonna highlight the artists that came from this era, right? So let's talk about some of the mixtapes before I hit you with the brackets before you dip up out of here. All right. Lupe Fiasco, Revenge of the Nerds, 2006. This after Food and Liquor. You already know the work he did on that. Then we get into 2007, where 2 out of the 3 got some classics. J. Cole to Come Up. That right there, can I say more? Like his first 3 mixtapes, impeccable. You know that. That's your guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yes,
Drake comes
sir.
with the comeback season. Then 2008, some standouts. Nipsey Hussle finally breaks through with The Bullets Ain't Got No Names, Volume 2. Wale mixtape About Nothing. But I would say,
Mm-hmm.
to me, the best in 2008 will be, again, the blueprint for 808 and Heartbreaks and the rest. A Kid Named Cudi.
Mm-hmm.
Changed the game without people not even realizing it. Now, when we look back
Yep.
at it, right?
Right.
You know, um, 2009, I thought that was a great year for mixtapes. One of the biggest what ifs, Jay Electronica. What the is Jay?
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck is it? What is the Jay Electronica? J. Cole to Warm Up, another classic. Wiz Khalifa,
Mm-hmm.
Burn After Rolling. Nicki Minaj, Beat Me Up Scotty. Big Sean, you know Big Sean Volume 2. Mac Miller, The High Life. Wale, Back to the Features. Drake, So Far So Gone. Classic.
Yes.
Classic. Currency and Wiz Khalifa. How Fly. Kid Cudi, that kid from Cleveland. Tyler the Creator, Bastard. The mixtapes, classics. Better than the albums
Yeah,
at
that
this
How
time.
Fly. Yeah, that Currency and Wiz How Fly is classic too.
Classic. Nipsey Hussle, The Marathon, 2010. Wiz Khalifa. Now, this was his groundbreaking mixtape, Cushion OJ. Then Kendrick Lamar, overly dedicated. Well, I would say this much. Um, I got high praises for Kendrick, but I would say none of his mixtapes are classics to me. They're dope. They're dope. But he to me, he doesn't he got some dope lyrics. It just none of his mixtapes are like masterpieces or classics to me. But he's the B.O.B. Drop No Genre, J. Cole, Friday Night Lights, another classic. That boy Cole,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that, that boy Cole, that man Cole.
Yeah.
For those that's watching, appreciate you tuning in. It don't cost you $1 to support us. If you can, give us a like, leave us a comment, and if possible, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate y'all. Let's continue.
Most definitely.
Big Crit, Big Crit was here. That I ain't gonna lie. That's I'm gonna leave that for later. one of my favorite mixtapes of all time, Marty. I think he comes from a lineage, right? David Banner, right?
Mm-hmm.
They come from the same city, same state. You know what they also share in common? They produce and rap as well. And I think that's so dope, you know. And I don't know. Big Crit's very underrated or underappreciated. I don't know. Then we got Big
Yeah, I
Sean
agree.
Finding Famous Volume 3, Hot Project. Wale, More About Nothing. Mac Miller, KIDS. The Spine. For those who, if you're not into Mac Miller, check out The Spine. 2011, another great year for mixtapes. Wiz Khalifa, Cabin Fever. Cassie Veggie, Sleeping in Class. Wale, the 11-1 Theory. Currency, Return of the Winner Circle. Classic. Live Fast, Die Young. ASAP Rocky, Long Live ASAP. Mac Miller, Best Day Ever. Then we go into 2012. We're almost wrap up, people. We're going to breeze right through. Big Sean, Detroit. Meek Mill, Dream Chasers 2. Joey Badass, 1999. My Young Buck from Chicago, Illinois. Chief Keef Back from the Dead. Sosa, Don't Like Every Day. You know, we used to bump that motherfucker all day, every day, bro. Dom Kennedy, The Yellow Album. Childish Gambino, Royalty. Chance the Rapper, 10 Day. Then 2013, we're about to end. Born Sinner, Vic Mensa's, J. Cole's Born Sinner. Another fucking classic. Another classic.
Yeah.
Vic Mensa, Imitate, Chance the Rapper, Acid Rap, Nipsey Hussle Crenshaw. I thought that was, he was getting somewhere. I thought that was dope. Travis Scott's Day Before Rodeo, which I believe, but he just put this on DSPs about like when GNX, the month GNX dropped, last November, he dropped it like 2 weeks prior to that. Bro, that shit did about like 400,000 first week, and that's a project that dropped about like 12 years, 15, 13 years ago, 11 years ago. My bad, my math's off. And then Future's Dirty Sprite. Look at that, bro. I just named out more than like about 50 of these mixtapes. Some of them probably brought you back to memories. Like I said, I come from the mixtape era where motherfuckers used to just rapidy rap on them over beats. Then 50 Cent kind of changed it, where he started changing the song of the beat, right? And that's the formula Lil Wayne took on and took forth, right? But when I say this is the best era, because most of this shit, like, it's original shit they gave to us for free. That's one. Two, it was their way to connect to us, the new consumers. And three, bro, like, I don't know an era that had better mixtape runs than this. Your thoughts on this mixtape run I just listed?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's like when, like you were saying earlier, this was back when like damn near the mixtapes was harder than the album, the project itself and shit.
Facts.
Which is crazy.
Facts.
But yeah.
Think
Yeah, it
about
was a
this.
lot of mixtapes happened. Like there was a lot of it going on. Like you know, a lot of people was not like there was certain people that was taking advantage of that and dropping a lot of mixtapes. You know, 2, 3, 4 in a year or whatever, and then there was some people that like Cole, where he was just dropping like crazy bodies of like work. You know what I'm saying? Like classic project mixtapes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he got it. Like his to me, the mixtape the mixtape run, right? He got the best. He got the best.
Yeah, I
He got
agree.
like four. He got four for sure straight classics, for sure four, and the fifth one could be a hot one. I'm gonna have to revisit that, but I know for sure the four because I just was listening to it a few months ago. Whenever we were talking about Cole, right? So I'm like,
Hmm.
oh no, this boy's catalog. Well, not his discography, but his mixtape run was insane. Um,
Hmm.
again, this is the new crop of MCs. How they were gonna get me to listen to them, and I thought this was brilliant, right? The Piff, my mixtapes, live mixtapes. I was able to go check out who I liked it, and then at the display that had someone I didn't know of, like, fuck it, let me get this guy a try. And that was the discovery then, right?
Hmm.
Where back in my era, the discovery was if I buy Orly CD and he's featuring Moneybag, Moneybag better be hot for me to check out his CD because that was my discovery.
Right.
Then is the features on the CD. Where now it was like I'm gonna go check out Orlito on the Piff, and now I'm able to check out N Daniels because his mixtape next to yours, or check out Juice's
Hmm.
because his is you feel me. So I thought, and then the blog era, as far as the write ups like Rap Radar, they used to go in depth with these artists. I got to know these artists through their words and how they interpreted it themselves. Where now it's just viral. Everybody want to go viral.
Hmm. Right.
It's not even about longevity, you know. But I just wanted to cover this blog era because I thought for sure we're gonna break down each era here and there. But without a doubt, this is one of my favorite eras. It
Most
has
definitely.
had it has a it has a long lasting impact. Like some of these guys still brilliant to this day. You know, it depends who you ask, who they favorite. I'm sure is one of these at the top, right? So I wanted to give the flowers to that era, the last great era, without a shadow of a doubt. And
Right. The heavy
that's
hitters
when, yeah, they reshifted the game, right? The game was
set
in a
the bar high.
transition. No, the game was in a transition at that time, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it was a perfect era for this crop of MC to not only break through but to shine, right? Because let's not get it fucked up. My goat, Jay-Z dropped Magna Carta.
Hmm.
You feel me? So
Hmm.
this wasn't the time for him to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
um before we get up out of here, Orly, we chopped it up. The blog era. For the people tuned in, come join us. We're gonna have some fun now, right? So, we went through the names, we went through the mixtapes, and I compromised a list of 15 artists right here,
Hmm.
and we're gonna run a gauntlet. So the idea is I'm gonna give you two names to start with, right? And you're
Hmm.
gonna pick one to move on forward. The one that doesn't move forward will be the 15th spot. Actually, I got 16 spots. I don't know why I got 16, but heck, we got 16, Orlito. The hell with it. All right. So
All right.
I'm gonna give you two names, and you're gonna pick one to advance, and then that one stays at 16, okay?
Okay.
So,
Okay. I got you.
but I got three stars next to three names that they're kind of my picks that I'm thinking they're gonna end up on your top one. So I'm gonna start
Okay.
off with Chip the Ripper and Rich Homie Quan.
Gonna have to go with Chip the Ripper.
So Rich Homie Quan at 16.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me see what I'm gonna put him up next. Chip the Ripper, Tiger.
And there's no type of criteria. This is just like
It's
me,
your
whatever.
criteria, bro.
It's my
Whatever.
criteria.
You
Okay,
can
yeah,
pick,
I'm gonna
bro.
go.
You could pick a criteria for each one every time.
I'm gonna go with Chip the Ripper again, bro.
Okay. Tiger. Okay. All right. Chip the Ripper and B.O.B.
I'm gonna go with B.O.B.
Okay. Okay. For those tuning in, give us some comments. Let us know if he got it right or is Orly tripping. I don't think he tripping. All right. So B.O.B. or Yellow Wolf?
I'm gonna have to go with B.O.B.
Okay. Okay. Get hard in a second, Orly. She's gonna get hard in a second. All right. All right. Here we go. B.O.B. or ASAP Rocky?
I'll have to go with ASAP.
Okay, B.O.B. You out of here. Hold on. Let me check out. That kick push, that superstar Lupe was the truth for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
He just chopping it up about him last week. Orly picked Food and
yeah.
Liquor as the throwback album. Classic.
hmm
Okay. So ASAP Rocky or Big Sean.
Big Sean.
Okay. 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 Big Sean and Sahai the Prince.
Mm. Damn, that's hard. I really like Saha the Prince, bro. But I'm finna go with Big Sean.
Oh, okay.
That one
Sean
hurt.
Wood. Hey,
Yeah.
he was one. He was one of
Yeah,
my
was
three.
he? That
Yep.
one hurt. That one hurt. Yeah.
Sahai was
Damn,
one
that
of
one
the
hurt though.
ones.
I'm not gonna lie, I like Saha a lot, but I don't know. I just guess like against Big Sean, I was just going to get. I was just the criteria is like the relevancy.
Big Sean got some classics that Detroit. I was listening to it earlier. Moolah, 24K, Gold. Yeah, man. Big Sean.
Yeah, that Detroit
All
crazy.
right. Yeah. All right. Big Sean, Currency.
I'm gonna have to go with Currency.
Woo! We're almost there. We're almost there. All right.
I
All
feel like
right.
it's gonna start getting difficult now.
Currency or Don Trip.
Oh, damn.
uh, Nick, you still in
I'm
here? What's your thoughts, bro?
I'm gonna have to go with Don Tripp.
Woo! Shit's getting good. Okay. Okay. You know what? Let me throw in the young bull in there. Don Trip or Chief Keef.
I'm gonna go with Don Tripp.
Fucking let me Fuck it. We smoking on. Is it gonna be a Chicago pack? Don't Trip or Little Dirk?
Oh man, damn! I'm gonna go with Don Trip, bro. I'm gonna go with Don Trip just because of the because of the work ethic and the consistency, and you know.
Okay. Body don't too. I knew it too. All right. This is it. This is about it. We're rounding out to 5. Don Trip or Wale?
Don Trip again because of the work ethic. What he had like 12 albums. He had what 12 albums in a year or 12? Yeah, like
Yeah,
12
last year.
projects in it. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, last year. Yep.
You know what? My final 2 are in here and 2 more. All right. So Don Trip, I'm gonna put him up against Big Crit.
I'm gonna go with Don Trip.
Woo!
I like Big Crit too.
Don Trip or Lupe Fiasco?
Man, that was hard. I'm gonna go with Lupe for the simple fact of like, even though he hasn't been consistent lately or hasn't dropped nothing in a long time, but the bodies of work that he has are uh, like what classic masterpieces. There, I mean, you know, they're like they hold weight. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
So Lupe.
And they and I'm putting it up there. How you say, I'm gonna put that discography out there soon because it got to be re-examined. Because I know for sure, when it comes to that rapping, that MC, that lyricism, it's either him and Common in Chicago for sure, and Lupe could take it elsewhere. Like we'll talk about that some other time, but I think Lupe is the only guy right now that could get that dude from the West Coast some kind of comp as far as what you know.
Well, you're right when you had said that he was the pretty much like Lupe was doing Kendrick before Kendrick was doing Kendrick type shit. Not to take any credit away from Kendrick, I'm
Yeah,
just saying like
he just did
he
it
was
his way.
already on that type of time. Yeah. Right,
Yeah,
right.
he just did it his way. Yeah. So I chose 3. So these top 2 were my choices. So I'm gonna put the final 2: Lupe or Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi. So
That was a special
Don
place in my
Trip,
heart.
Don Trip did run the gauntlet though. I won't lie. Don Trip did run the gauntlet for a
Right?
bit.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Shit.
So obviously I left out some of the obvious big names out of this era. I put in, certain names. So let's run it back. 16, we got Rich Homie Quan, 15 Tiger, 14 Chip the Ripper, 13th Yellow Wolf, 12 B.O.B., 11 ASAP Rocky, 10 Sahai the Prince, 9 Big Sean, 8 Currency, 7 Chief Keef, 6 Little Dirt, 5 Wale, 4 Big Crit, 3 Don Trip, 2 Lupe Fiasco, and your number 1 guy in the gauntlet is Kid Cudi.
I think that that's a good one, and honestly, I would switch the last 2. Like if I knew that was the last ones, I would have kept Lupe at 1 and put Cudi at 2.
Okay, that's dope.
Type shit. You know what
So
I'm saying?
we got one more brackets. We almost out of here. This ain't gonna take long. I got 2 mixtapes here that I think are gonna be your final 2, or I could be fucking wrong. Again, This is your criteria, my brother. People that's tuning in, we're calling this. We're gonna call this the blog era bracket, blog era mixtape bracket. Yeah, blog era mixtape bracket. So here we go, Orly. Your first matchup: a kid named Cuddy versus Detroit.
Mm, that's tough. that was tough. Holy crap. Hmm.
And that's coming from
Mm.
the first matchup up for the lower bracket too.
I'm gonna go with a kid named Cuddy just because of what the what that mixtape did.
Okay. Okay. Let me go with the second matchup there. Wale's More About Nothing versus Lupe Fiasco's Revenge of the Nerds.
I'm gonna have to go with Lupe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go
I like
on
that More
top.
About Nothing though. That More About Nothing was dope as well. That was the one with the
That
Seinfeld
was.
cover.
Yep. And I really was up in the air with either that one or Back to the Features because I thought that motherfucker was dope. Back to the Features with Life Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to the top, man. I don't think this gonna be tough, but let's see. Drake so far gone versus J. Cole to warm up.
J. Cole to warm up.
Okay. Then we got ASAP Rocky, Long Live ASAP versus Chip the Ripper, the Cleveland Show.
I'm gonna do the Long Live ASAP.
None of those were my picks, right? I thought you
Mm-hmm.
were gonna have the Cleveland Show over Long Live ASAP for some strange reason. All right,
Maybe
so let's
because
go back.
Chip made it up. Chip made it up the list over on the other side quicker than he made it over here.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so let's go back down to the bottom bracket. 300 days, 300 nights, Little Dirk versus Chief Keef, back from the dead.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with Chief Keef.
Yeah, that's monstrous. All right, then the bottom one, Future Dirty Sprite versus Wiz Khalifa, Cushion OJ.
Pushing OJ.
All right, so the last two matchups from the top bracket. Currency return to the winner's circle versus Big Crit. Crit was here.
I'm gonna have to go with Currency. Return to the winner's circle.
Okay. The last matchup of the top bracket. The late great Nipsey Hussle's Crenshaw versus Meek Mill's Dream Chasers 2.
Mm. I'm gonna have to go with Crenshaw.
That
That Dream
surprised you?
Chasers too. Yeah, that Dream Chasers too though was monstrous.
I was thinking about the marathon for this, right? And maybe I should have too, because it was a dope project. But the reason I picked Crenshaw because how groundbreaking and monumental that was for him doing the
That the Red
$100.
album,
Yeah,
right?
yep, the $100
Rose
joint.
Cleek gang.
So we done with the first set of matchups.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to the semifinals, and we're gonna start with the top. J. Cole's the warm up versus Currency. No, my bad. I'm tripping. J. Cole's the warm up versus ASAP Rocky. Long live ASAP.
Warm up.
Return of the winner's circle versus Crenshaw.
Crenshaw.
Kid Named Cudi versus Revenge of the Nerds.
I'm gonna go with a Kid Named Cudi.
Or About Nothing? No, bullshit. My bad. Chief Keef Back from the Dead versus Wiz Khalifa, Cushion OJ.
Wiz Khalifa, Cushion OJ.
All right, let me check out some of these comments. We're about to get into the finals. Kid, no doubt, yo. Lupe.
She was probably going along with what you when you was asking the questions.
Yep. And I see it too. She was going with you too. Yo.
I lost it right there.
All right.
On the Meek one, I think I said somebody else.
So it was Crenshaw.
Mm-hmm.
That was your matchup. All right. So let's continue. Let's do the bottom bracket. So we got a Kid Named Cudi versus Cushion OJ.
Cushion OJ.
We got Crenshaw versus the warm up.
The warm up.
Both of my picks, y'all. Both of my picks. The star, the warm up, and Cushion OJ. Oh boy, I know my boy. I know my boy. All right. In your Block Era mixtape, I mean, for this episode or this bracket, the warm up versus Cushion OJ. Who is the winner?
I'm gonna have to go with the warm up.
Ding, ding, ding. And the winner for our first ever bracket, J. Cole, the warm up. Classic mixtape, by the way, man.
I liked how you did the back and forth thing.
To keep it up,
like the comparison, hey, or the choices.
But I won't lie, it wasn't even it wasn't the Chip the Ripper in the Gauntlet. It was more so. I remember we had a conversation, or maybe it was because of recent timing, but you said you like the ASAP Ferg more than Rocky. So yeah, I thought so. I didn't think that one would get past the Cleveland show, but it did. So that was a shocker to me, right? Or and then which other one was to me?
The Dream Chasers.
Two and Crenshaw. That was one for me too. But man, I have fun, bro. I appreciate you. I was like, you know what? This was the era. I keep repeating myself that most of these artists you put me on, and then once you put me on, I started downloading all their shit, and we had everything of their shit. You know what I'm saying?
And bro, we had them. When the iPads used to be a thing, we had the little iPad. We had like 2 iPad Nanos. It was like 16 gigabyte, 32 gigabyte, and then we had the big black one. The big black one, it was like 100 and, or no, it's like 132 or 100 and some weird big ass number that was never gonna run out of memory and shit. Yeah, that shit was crazy. We had so much music.
On top of that, our phones. What we had on our phones, the music we had on our phones. So
we literally would go to the club and tell the DJ, hey, let us plug in.
Yeah. Remember, we went to a bar one time and the DJ walked out and told us, y'all DJ? No, but we plugged in our iPad.
Yeah, I think it might have been at Wisco's.
Wisco's. Great place. But let me check out. Still appreciate you, Nick, man.
Appreciate you, and Daniels.
Appreciate you too, Nolly. Crenshaw. You know what, Nick? You know what we got to do? We got to get together, figure out a date, some time that we all got off, and do like a review on shit together. Dream Chaser 3
Oh
might be
yeah.
Crenshaw, but not 2. Not me. Not me. Not me. That's a
Yeah,
good
that
argument.
that Dream Chaser. Yeah, that Dream Chasers was.
I don't know. I love that Dream Chaser catalog though.
Yeah.
I don't. I can't forget Meek used to rap. Meek could
Yeah,
rap.
yeah, no, yeah, no. He could, bro. He was like, yeah. Remember, we always was like, it was his energy that did it
Yeah,
for it. And then just like the beats that they would give him to go along with that energy, he would
his
just go
production.
crazy.
Yeah, his
Hmm.
production. I actually, now that I think about it, I this whole Dream Chaser, I think 3 was more had more bops on it. But as far as production, I would say 1 and 2 was solid production. Like I think 3 was like a gear up for a project or something. But Dream Chaser 3 was big though. I fuck with it. Um, what a fucking era, man. What a fucking era, man.
Right.
So again, Nick, Juice, Noli, from wherever y'all tuning in, we always appreciate y'all engaging with us. Who else was with us? Yeah, that's about it. And the bot, hold on a second. The name of the
The bot
episode
stream.
is what's the blog, not what's the bot. So please stop botting us because y'all affect man, y'all fucking us up, man. I hate bots. But anyhow. All right, Orlito, man. Again, I shout out everybody that engaged with us. Orlito, anything you want to say before you take us home, brother?
uh yeah, shout out to the people that we can't see that are watching. You know what I'm saying? If y'all didn't comment or whatever, we can't really see that you're watching. Sometimes we can, but on Facebook we can sometimes. But um, if you're watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for you know following us. If you're following us, if you ain't, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, follow us. Um, And yeah, we do this every Thursday. We get different criteria. The people that's tuned in and been here before know what's up. But for new people or whatever, this is what we do. Come on every Thursday and talk about shit. 7 p.m. every Thursday. So yeah, come back next Thursday and see what we talking about.
Peace.